Okay, I want to talk about this restoration economy idea. First of all, I want to mention that what I'm doing is, as a relativist, I like to find where philosophies overlap, where different philosophies can add together because they have some commonality. And I also like to take what I think are the strong points of a philosophy and support and emphasize those. Now, when I say $1 billion project or $2 billion to clean the Hetch Hetchy, any given single $1 billion project, first of all, you got to know we're not talking about $1 billion up front. We're talking more like, okay, $30 million for 35-year project, and that's how you get your billion. Okay, a lot of people have complained already about, well, where would you get the money? First of all, I want to tell you, I'm not going to play this game. I think it's a circular game. If you don't agree that the idea is a good idea, I'm not going to argue about where the money comes from. If you really think the only problem is where do we get the money, then okay, first agree and admit that you like the idea, and then we discuss about the money. Now, where do we get the money? I'm fine with it being from our regular tax money. I'm fine with it being that we redirect research money into it. I'm fine with the idea that we would take a couple months worth of war effort and we would take the money from there. But let's say none of those are good enough for you. Well, what about this? What about if the government starts a car company? Okay, and the car company is to sell inexpensive cars to people, so they don't change the body every year. They don't do any of the stuff that adds needlessly. They don't necessarily do their own research. They apply what other more innovative car makers are doing. I'm sure people will want advanced cars, but the government makes these cars that are fairly cheap, and that's its purpose. And also, it takes all the profit from that endeavor and it puts it towards restoration. So the government starts an enterprise to sell cars and uses the profit for restoration. And, what would the problem be with that exactly? Um, I don't see a problem. I think that's a way to get the money there. And the whole idea is that I believe, in the value of the market, much like a market anarchist might. I believe that the market can be used to solve some of these problems, but that we have to create the markets. That the markets don't exist on their own. We create them. And if you create the right kind of market, then the capitalist and entrepreneurial attitude will work, as we hope for it to work. It'll be set to the problem. But by creating that market, we put it on a particular problem that we want solved.